Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? This is Leo Gilling coming to you from the studios of the Leo Gilling Show right here on Jamaicans.com. A little bit later, we will be coming into you live from scene.tv. That's scenetv.com. And please, we have a great lineup for you this evening. I want to say welcome everyone who's there. Good evening to you. Good evening to every Jamaican across network, across the globe. Jamaicans in Jamaica. Just if you are a first generation Jamaican, big ups to you. Second generation Jamaican, big ups to you. Third generation, fourth generation. Just know that whichever generation you come from, that you are a Jamaican and you can get a passport just having a mother or a father, a grandmother or a grandfather, a great-grandmother or a great-grandfather. You can go to Jamaica and claim your passport. Please, it's okay. Jamaica recognizes dual citizenship. If you don't have your passport, if you come America, or you go England, or you go Canada, and you go get rid of your Jamaican passport, you just got rid of your right to be a Jamaican. No, that's not true. You're still a Jamaican. But just go back home, man. Just go back home and go get your passport, because let me tell you something. Being a Jamaican is the best thing ever. Me not ask no question about that. Me know. You know, me know. This week, ladies and gentlemen, is Heritage Week leading up to Monday. Monday is Heritage, what they call it again? You can't tell me what name, right? Monday, the Heritage Day. What they call it? National Heroes Day. National Heroes Day to coming Monday. All of this week we celebrate Heroes Week. So Monday we had a young lady on. Her name is June Carley, and we chat all kind of stuff. When it comes to Jamaica, let me tell you something. We chat all kind of stuff, and it was really fun to have June online with us on Monday evening. But June is gonna be back this evening, but with Miss Olive. Miss Olive, boy, I'm telling you, I interviewed Miss Olive about 3 years ago. Miss Olive had, she was married to her husband for her late husband for 75 years. Miss Olive was married to her late husband for 75 years. He died a couple of years ago. He died when he was 104 years old. And she then was 100 years old. Okay, so she's a centurion. So she's about 102 years old now. And if you talk to Miss Olive, you would think that she's like 30, because when you hear her talk, boy, I may tell you the truth, she have better memory than me. And me thinks I may have a memory of an elephant for old things. And she's really, really good. So you're gonna run into Miss Olive this evening and call her in a few minutes. So bear with me. But I just wanted to take some time to thank you for being here this evening. It is actually absolutely very nice to have you right here with me, because you could have been doing a whole lot of things, but you want to celebrate Heritage Week with me, right? Yes, you want to celebrate Heritage Week with me. Remember, Heritage Week is when we recognize our national heroes, and you can name the national heroes them for me, man. Name them for me. Let me see if you know who your national heroes are, right? Here's Marcia Claire says, awesome. Edith Clark, good evening to you. Juliet Trimmingham Poirier, good evening. George Raymond says, hello, how are you? My name is George Raymond. I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica. One love to all, enough respect to you. George, Melanie Laverne, Doris, Eugene Castillo, Tapia, really nice name there. Angela Lewin Brown. Let me tell you something. There is no culture better than Jamaican. Think about this for a minute. Because in 1948, those guys ran the 4x400 meter race, and no, it was a 400 meter race, and they won first and second, right? You can tell me their names. And in 1951, they ran the 4x400 meters, and they won the 4x400 meter goal. It was probably the first goal Jamaica ever win, and that was before independence, right? Well, they set the stage for all of this prolificness, in track and field. Now Jamaica is known as the powerhouse in sprints from 1 through to 4, and then all of a sudden you saw the other day they did well in the field events. Now you see discus, long jump, shot put. Oh my God, that was pretty good. That was really, really good. But Jamaica, the Jamaican-ness in us, is that thing that tell us that we born this up, we grow this up, right? And we experience one kind of life. Whether you come from Kingston, whether you come from country, there's a certain type of Jamaican-ness about you when you travel. It's that Jamaican-ness that they find in the music, our music that they find so really good. When I hear, I was talking to Freddie McGregor the other day, and him say, some of these guys are taking the music to another level, doing hip hop music in Jamaica, and it just not fit because why would a producer come to Jamaica to listen to hip hop, and hip hop is American music, right? So what makes us so unique is the ability to create from scratch, work on it, right? Work on it, and then make it bigger than ever. I don't know better than that, right? And so if you think about Miss Lou back in the days when before 1962, I'm sure she's born before 1962, so she's been through the struggles of, when they were saying if you speak patois, you chat bad, right? You chat bad. When you speak patois, you chat bad. That's what them teach us when I grew up. So and me couldn't chat anything else other than patois. That was kind of wrong for me to speak patois. So we had to learn English in school, and we couldn't talk patois to our teachers. I mean, things are different now, and so I appreciate Jamaica and how the education system has transformed its students, so you can express yourself in patois to the teacher, and you're all right still, because you're still speaking your tongue. But before 1962, because of the British influence, the colonization of Jamaica on by British, them kind of come and lay all of them fat upon way, right? All of them fat, them lay all right on us, and we can't speak our tongue. And our tongue came from a mixture between African and the Spanish influence and the English. That's where our tongue come from. It's not from Britain alone. And so we were taught to speak only English in class. And if we don't speak English, then beat we. And beat you bad too. Why you chat too bad? Go in at the corner, that kind of thing there. And so we have prevailed because Miss Lou came up with our little ring ding thing, and the Louis Bennett corner up on RJR. We used to go listen to Louis Bennett at 1:15 in the evening, in the afternoon. And then she started this whole thing, said, a fluid tongue this, we need to chat it. We need to chat our tongue. And she did a lot of poems and prose in patois. And it sets the tone now for us to be having 1 million radio stations, and now our radio hosts can chat patois all they want. And it's all right. But once upon a time, you couldn't get a job on JBC unless you're speaking the British tongue, the Queen's tongue, And so I'm happy to see where Jamaica has come. There are persons who are out there that are saying, hey, Taki needs to be a national hero. Michael Manley needs to be a national hero. Bob Marley needs to be a national hero. I mean, you can think of that how you want to think of it, but, they all deserve. If you think about George Washington Gordon, What me do again? Me no remember. Lord, me no remember what me do. But you can definitely remember what Paul Bogle did, right? You can definitely remember what Marcus Garvey did. That's the only man, the black man in America, where within 2 years, he had 2 million followers. In the 1940s, in the 1918, 1916, 1914, him have 2 million followers, and him never have the internet, and him never have WhatsApp, right? 2 million followers and built a shipping industry, an industry that's bigger than white people, that they had to take him down. That's the Jamaicanness about Jamaicans, you know? It's the drive. It's the drive. And if you go into, somebody was telling me the other day, you know, in schools in America, the students who do the best in Broward and in Florida are the students of parents of Jamaicans and the Caribbean people, because they know what the value of education is, and they instill that. Then we beat you even if you come home with a B. And you know, our Americans, we don't beat our kids and then come home with C. Jamaicans will beat them picnic if they come home with a B. And so we strive always for the best, the top, the best, the highest quality, the best quality. And so that's the Jamaicanness of us. And we are very competitive. So most times we hardly get together because we're so competitive. We come like a crab in a basket, because we always crawl up on top of each other. But there's something unique about that, because it's the competitive nature of us that made Bob Marley and Marcia and Marcus Garvey and Paul Bogle. It's the competitive nature of us that made us want to be the best thing, and they don't want nobody to beat them down. Jamaicans don't take beat down for nobody. So you remember that there is something, even though we can't seem to get it together in our group, you know, a group comes together and then boom, it fall apart. It's because each person wants to be the boss, or each person wants to be better, or each person know how to do something better than the other person. That's what this is all about. But there's a uniqueness about it, because if we know or knew how to hone in those individual skills of leadership, those individual skills of drive and wanting to be the best, if we can own that into a global way, nobody in the world no better than Jamaica. Actually, nobody really, you know, we're already there, you know. We're already there. But you know, can you believe if we could harness all of that skill? So here's Angie says, Marcus Garvey to the world. Marcus Garvey, father, was a strength to the family, yet father could not read. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Melvie Pottinger, good day. Edith Clark, good day. Good afternoon to you. Good evening, everyone. Sharon Green says she's watching from New York. Angie Lewis says, Leo, that's so true. My father was strict on that. I had to speak proper English all the time. Sad thing from my siblings, I'm the only one who was born in England. That's not really sad. Whether you're born in England or Russia or wherever, as long as you're born of Jamaican parents, you're Jamaican all the way. So don't worry yourself. That drive is still there. So we're very happy. I'm trying to figure out the time because I don't want to lose so yes, it's time for me to call Miss Olive. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, stay with me, because this is going to be a heck of an interview. Okay, stay with me as we go. But Jamaicans, let me see. Yeah, Jamaicans are the best at what they do, ladies and gentlemen, and you cannot scene coming up. Boom, we're on scene.tv also right now. Here we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me. I'm going to try to call Miss Lewin now, because it's Leo Gilling coming to you from the Leo Gilling Show. And right here on Jamaicans.com, here it is. Okay. Jamaicans.com, scene.tv, and then both are on Facebook. Let's see if there you go. June Colley is the lady that was with us the other evening, and June has Miss Lewin, Miss Olive already geared up for me. Hello, June. How are you?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Me not really want to talk to you this evening. Really, me chat enough to you on Monday evening. I miss Olive. Me want to talk to. Can I talk to her, please?
Be sure.
You're not saying nothing.
Hold on. Let me talk to her for a second. Hold on. Hold on.
Yes. So
Hold on.
yeah, Jamaicans, ladies and gentlemen, are the best in everything.
In a few minutes.
We are.
What are you ready?
We are ready right now. We're rolling. But listen.
You ready now?
Yes.
You know what?
So
in 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. I'll call you back.
She'll talk to her son. So let her give her about 5 minutes.
Okay, we will do that. All right, good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we just have to wait for another 5 minutes. But listen, think about it. The other day, Jamaicans won a ice hockey championship. We don't have a rink in Jamaica, right? We don't have a rink. We win swimming and broke all kind of record, right? We win. We do so well in a what is it? A bobsled. We don't have no ice. No, let me say ice. We don't have no ice at Jamaica, and we're doing well in ice games. That's don't make no sense. But it tells us the drive that we have. No, what the other day I was in Jamaica and I sat with the president of the Jamaica Basketball Association, and they're putting together a team, ladies and gentlemen, a basketball team for Olympics 2024. So please watch out for us. We have lady soccer, the best thing ever. We made it to World Cup. I mean, can you think about the other day I saw one of our teams of attorneys, I think they were attorneys, won some competition in some foreign country. We never hear the name. We are some of the best talents in the world, Jamaicans are. All right? And so I am very, very proud. I am so proud. There's somebody saying something else. Let me see. Melanie Levine, because of not being able to speak Patois, I can't speak it too much and I can't read it. Oh my gosh. That see? So my father, let me give you a joke. Well, this is not really a joke. It was a real story. My father could not read. And at 10 years old, 11, 12, I read for him. Because my father loved to gamble racehorse. And so he would bring, I don't know if you remember the racehorse paper, the race paper, then call it, it was given away free. And so you would get the race paper, and I would go and get the race paper and bring it home. And then my dad now would he'd wake up, go to sleep and wake up, and him call me and say, boy, come here. I don't know why him called me boy. I don't know what. Hey, bless his soul. Died 1978. Call me boy. Boy, come here. And he would say, all right, me dream see cherry, or me dream see cow, or me dream see horse, or whatever. Look on the race thing and see if you pick up any horse with anything that looks like that. And that me I go buy. My dad got so good at picking out horse. Him win a lot. He got so good. But he fell asleep in a dropsy. So they had a race track, what they call it again, the track house, the track shop, the race track shop down the street. And they show it on TV or you listen it on radio. I think it was a radio you would listen to the races on. And when he would go to buy races, my dad would fall asleep between races. And when him wake up, 10 men would stand up around him waiting for him to wake up to buy a horse because it's a rake. Him fall asleep, and when him wake up, my father would tell him why him dream about and they go buy a horse. Them win, you know. Most of the time them win. Not all the time, but he won more, or they won more than they lost. So he was a genius in the community, but him couldn't read. So all him do him dream, wake up, and tell the people him what to buy. And that worked out. Big him named Baba Riba. Carried. But my father was a dreamer and, and make money off of people who buy us. Because anytime they win, they have to give him some money, really. You know, so, but my father did not allow me to go to school and not be able to read. Most parents in Jamaica, even if they can't read, they want their kids to do so well, better than they are. It's just been just one of those things that that we are accustomed to being the best at what we do, or preparing our kids to be the best. Because anytime you go in a household, your mother prompt you or your daddy prompt you and say and ask you, what do you want to be when people come around? And you have to say a doctor or an attorney or a lawyer or a barrister, right? That's what you were accustomed to hearing growing up. You better say it too, because you can't go be a maid. You can't go be a barber or a waiter. It has to be that you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a barrister, you know, a nurse, a teacher, those kinds of things. Or else you not a part of this household, because anytime you don't get beat, you know, you the only thing that you can say is one of those professions. So think about it. Think about why it is that we thrive and we strive so great to be the greatest in the world. Our music is endemic to Jamaica. Reggae music is Jamaica. Think about America, because pop, America really doesn't have a music that says this is American. Maybe Western, country and Western. Maybe country and Western is theirs, right? But Jamaica has made reggae music the dance music throughout the world. Think about it. Anywhere you go in this world, you can find a club, whether a Jamaican own it or not, they are playing reggae music. Trinidad, St. Lucia, Barbados, them stop play soca music. A reggae music a play in a for them dance hall. China, Japan, Switzerland, England, all of UK, them stop play for them music, whatever it was. And all they're playing inside of their bars and clubs these days are reggae music. It's reggae music, right? The White House, Obama would well, let's not talk about Obama. There was a guy by the name of General Colin Powell, who's a second generation Jamaican, and he was the chief of staff in the house in the White House back in the 90s, and he was settled. He didn't accept the position or the charter to run for president, but he was right there, a black man, Jamaican, running for president. That would have been great. But him tell us in a film book that the only music that play in a film office every day was reggae music right throughout. Bob Marley, yeah. And so the first place that Obama, when he came to Jamaica, the first time as president in the United States, the first place he went to was Bob Marley's place. Think about that again for a minute. Think about the impact of Jamaican culture throughout the world. Think about the food. Anywhere in the world you go and you say Jamaican, someone says jerk. Jerk chicken or jerk something. Okay? Now there's jerk all over the place. Then jerk pork, then jerk oxtail, then jerk swims, then jerk everything. Fish, everything get jerks these days. All right? And so Jamaican jerk becomes the household name for anything Jamaican across the world, not just in Jamaica. Now you hear them talk about oxtail. There's almost no other country in the world that made oxtail a household name. because we cook it the best. And I'll ask Miss, and when what's your name? When Miss Olive comes on, I want her to tell me how them cook oxtail back in the days, or if them have oxtail. Because when me I grew up, me don't know nothing about oxtail. Because oxtail would have been too expensive. Me know about pigtail. Salted, curded, no, salted. Salted, brined pigtail, right? And that's what I know. But I didn't know about oxtail till I come to America. Because I never eat it until I come to America. It is too expensive. But Jamaicans make oxtail probably the most tasty, the best tasting meat out there. And anybody who cannot cook it like how Jamaicans cook it, I know oxtail that. Believe me. I know if it can't cook, if it not tastes like how Jamaican cook oxtail, it's not oxtail. But people do whole heap of little, stuff playing around with jerk and jerk and jerk. The other day, I saw a store putting out jerk chicken and rice and beans, right? Rice and beans. And say it was Jamaican. So they quickly took it off because it was fried chicken. Fried chicken with white rice and then threw the beans on top of it. And they got flack for it, all right? Oh, Miss Olive calling me. All right. Miss Olive. Okay, Miss Olive, I will call you back on the other line because this is not the line to call. I'll call you right back, okay? All right, great. That's Miss Olive calling me. So I'm going to call Miss Olive. Listen, you can talk to me all day long. I really appreciate what you guys have done, being here with me, but I really want to introduce you to Miss Olive. Let me put on my glasses. I'm not that young anymore, so I have to wear glasses to see what's going on. All right. So now we can talk. This is Aunt Olive. There you go. All right. Miss Aunt Olive, I have two numbers for Aunt Olive. I wonder which one of them. I don't know which one it is. Let's hope this is the one that's good, that's working. Gosh. Hello, Marie Rochester Morgan. Good day, Maria. Delrose Marshall. Grace Ringrose. Good day. Good day. Edith Clark. I don't know. That's the number. She's.
Wait.
Oh, is that the right? Is this the right number?
Wait.
Hello. I think I have the wrong number. I'm so sorry. So I need to call Aunt Olive at her house number. Okay. Here we go. I'm so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with me because we have a lot of things to talk about, and you want to hear Miss Olive this evening. Believe me, Miss Olive is no chicken. Hello, good evening. Is this Miss Olive?
Yes, good evening. How are you, Leo?
Lord have mercy, a long time in a year. 3 years now.
It's 3 years?
About that about there. I think it's
no, it's 2 because I was 100 when you.
That is right. It's 2. That is exactly. Yes, we may talk about people. I told there are a lot of people listening to you right now, Miss Olive, right? And I said to them that your memory better than mine, and you just prove it.
That's a compliment. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, man. Good evening to you.
How are you?
I am great. It's so nice to hear you. Thank you for joining me.
Same here. The lady in the picture is not June, you know.
I know June that.
No, that is not June.
Who?
That's Denny's.
Oh my! What kind of thing?
Was visiting another niece of mine. So that's how we hug up all the time when we meet.
Oh my gosh! I thought it was June. And look for me. I said June. I said to myself, June can't be so pretty. No, remember June so pretty at all. So you tell her to me say that.
that is not June. That is like.
Oh boy. So I have been dying to interview you because and there's a lot of people, as I said, listening to you. And I want to be able to have you tell us a little bit, well, not a little bit more, you tell me a whole heap. Tell us, I'm going to ask you a whole heap of question, and if I repeat it from 2 years ago, it's okay, all right?
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead, whatever I can answer, I will. But
there you go. We
you know, I'm near 103 now, so so the memory should not be so sharp.
Me not believe that at all. So,
Nice talking to you again.
yeah, man. So which part of Jamaica you come from?
I am from a little district called Smithfield, above Jack's Gate. You know where that is?
I have no clue. I don't even know what is Smithfield. Which parish is that?
Oh, you know where Newmarket is?
Oh, it's down Newmarket, yes.
Yeah, well, I am a mile and 3/4 out of Newmarket, going south.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So you were born there?
Born there, grew up there, left when I was 16.
So when I'm coming from Montego Bay, I would go through Catadupa and go down, right?
You didn't have to, you know, you go up Long Hill.
Go up Long Hill?
Yes, go Anchovy.
To Anchovy? Montpelier?
Chester Castle.
Chester. Oh, so it's Chester. So me pass the turning for go up Catadupa. I see. So we go up to Chester Castle. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. New Roads and then Smithfield.
So you have then the kind of when last you go home?
I was there summer.
Oh, this okay, all right. Because we know say how come you remember that so much?
I came back. Oh, come on! I came back in July.
Oh, okay. How is Jamaica? What you remember when you were a kid?
Jamaica is a far cry from when I grew up there. Of course, you would expect that because that time we were under British rule.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like me, couldn't go to high school.
Is that right? You couldn't go to high school?
No, we had one high school in each parish, and it was the people who call themselves the upper crust.
Oh.
Their children could go to high school.
What?
Or once in a while you would find one among us who would maybe be very comfortable, well off, and so on, you know, like a teacher's child or so. But the ordinary people couldn't go to high school.
I did not know that. Okay, so so they call themselves the upper crust?
Yes, they call themselves that.
Oh.
The elite, you know, and they look down on you poor. Even if you are capable and so on, they look at you as you belong down there, you know, that way.
Oh my God.
That was the order of the day. Now, those of us who did elementary education, the teachers had a thing among themselves called the Jamaica Teachers Association.
Mm-hmm.
And they arrange, no, darling, turn on that. They arrange after school education to take the place of the Cambridge exams that used to be set in England.
Oh.
So I am a product of that. You had to do a preliminary exam where they test you in English and arithmetic. It was then, because we didn't know anything about mathematics then, it was called arithmetic. So you did a preliminary course, and then if you were successful, you would go on to the intellectual course, they call it.
Whoa.
There you do the exams now, first, second, and third year.
Right.
That's what I did.
Okay. Okay. So the intellectual course is the first, second, and third year. Is that what it is?
Yes, the first year, second year, and third year. Three levels.
Okay.
And you know, when I didn't go to college or university until I was mature.
Okay.
And that time things had changed.
Okay. Yes.
And when I went, it was difficult to pursue higher education because the teachers' examination, they used to call it the Jamaica Pupil Teachers Association examination. That was founded on the British curriculum, but administered by the JAS.
Oh my God.
And we were well grounded in English,
yes,
as social studies, and general science.
Okay. So, at what level did you go to school? Is it grade 1 through 9?
Oh no, you had junior A, that's the reception class. Then you do that for a year, and junior B, which was the second class in there among the juniors.
Right.
Then first class, second class, third class, fourth class, fifth class, and sixth class. Sixth was the highest one.
Wow. Okay.
And children left school at those times at age 15.
Yes.
And those who were bright and could make it, they would reach sixth class. But most of the people who maybe didn't have books in their homes and all like that, those children weren't as forward as the others, and they would leave maybe.
So books were hard. So books were hard to come by. Books were hard.
Yes, books. But something, our house was full of books.
Right.
And my father had a school plan for us, so he taught us that. So when I went to school, I went into junior A. My teacher put up on the board A, B, C. The cat ran away with the hat and so on. And
Yes.
as fast as she put it up, I wrote. She said, "But you don't belong here." she sent me over to junior B.
Oh.
They're doing 4-letter words, 5-letter words.
Oh my
as
God.
fast as the teacher put it up on the board,
So
I
you were
wrote it.
able, because
She said, "You don't belong here." And she sent me over to first class.
First class.
Where they had the first book, I call it, the Longman's First Reader. I could read off every letter.
Hold on.
You don't belong here.
Tell me the name of that book again in first class.
Longman's. Longman's Readers.
Oh my God. Is that
And
when?
then they had what they call the New Royal Readers and the Royal Star Readers. All those different books were books that came out from England,
From
because
England.
we didn't have publishing in Jamaica or not like that.
Oh my God.
But my father was education minded, and he always put it in us that when you get a good education, you can make your way. You can be anything you want to be. So our house was full of all those books. Miss Vandenberg.
But it sound like your father was rich then.
Well, the people used to call him rich, but he didn't think so.
Oh.
Anybody want money to borrow, and so they come up to Mass Dick, we call him Papi Dick. And he wouldn't, sometimes he would lend and never get it back and all like that. But he didn't call himself rich.
Okay. All right. So what do you think they call rich at that time? Why would the people call him rich? Why do you think so?
Well, because he had like 45 cows.
Oh!
He had a grey mare, and he had mules and horses, goats, chickens, all the animals, you name them. The whole big cruise property of 300 acres, he was the only one who handled that property.
Oh.
I mean, other people lived on it, but they never cultivated on the scale that he did. So
Right.
he had a field for a pasture for the cows. And when they were finishing this pasture, he would drive them over to the other one. He divided up the land, and, he made use of it.
Okay.
And he always has a riding horse.
A riding horse?
Yes, and Mama rode a horse too.
What?
Sitting in the lady's saddle. You don't know those things.
The lady's saddle. They put him in the lady's
Yes.
saddle.
The saddle was made in a special way that you
I
don't
know
have
that
to,
both feet on one side. Both feet.
sit across. You sit like a like you make what they call time. I look at those things now, and I really, enjoy thinking about them, because those were things.
Okay. Oh my gosh. The side saddle.
Yes, they used to call it the lady's saddle.
Lady's saddle. Oh my gosh.
And
So
most people either ride the horse or the donkey or the mule, but they never had cars and so.
Right.
He had a buggy, what you call they call it the coach.
The what?
The coach, C-O-A-C-H.
Yes, the
Two
coach.
horses pull the coach.
Yes, the
And
coach.
the little buggy now is called the fly, F-L-Y. That will be pulled by one horse. So, and my uncle was a teacher at Nightingale Grove, so he used to go off in the fly to school in the mornings, and my big sister would go with him.
So tell me. I want you to think carefully now. I want you to think carefully a little bit, right? Between the age of 5 and age 12, can you remember what Christmas? We're coming to Christmas now. Can you remember what Christmas was like? Tell me about it.
I am telling you, Christmas was a time of great celebration. They would have concerts in the different districts. Some people have it in their yards and so on. But Christmas was a special time. We were taught Christ was born at Christmas.
Yes.
We would learn the Christmas songs and we'd have the Christmas concert. And we had feasts. In my home, they used to get up early on Christmas morning. I remember that so plainly.
Yes.
And make egg punch. You ever hear about egg punch?
Egg punch? No, me know eggnog.
Well, that is a small version of the punch.
Okay.
The punch would be, Mama had what you call an extractor.
Okay.
And it had a wheel like what you have. I don't say anything like that, no.
Mm-hmm. What does it do?
A big jug, and the egg and the milk, and it would be wine and nutmeg and everything, and make a punch. And everybody would get a glass or a cup of egg punch Christmas morning.
Oh, my God.
I remember my little brother, when he got his and finished it, he fell asleep right away because of the wine that was in it.
In junk.
Yes, it knocked him out. Oh, boy, and we sang Christmas carols until daylight. We got up early morning, you know.
Yes.
That was a celebration for early morning.
Right.
And then we would, when day was bright and the sun was high, we would get out and it was just a time of celebration. We didn't do any hard work or anything like that.
What was music like those days? Because the
music.
What was
the
it?
drum and what you call it? We call it now boombox.
Yes,
and gramophone and guitar. And the violin. My father could play all those without learning one note.
Is that right? Okay, so the violin, the gramophone,
yes.
the gramophone,
the guitar, and they had the fife.
Yes.
They call the violin the fiddle.
The fiddle. That's right. That's right. The fiddle. That's right. That's right.
And they had the fife and the fiddle and the drum.
Okay, so mostly all of that music was live music right there throughout that time, right? It was live.
Of course. And groups of people would come from a district we call Cottage. And they would come out with their orchestra. You hear me? The guitar, the drum, the fife, and the fiddle.
Oh my gosh!
And the shake.
Yes, yes. They want to make out a goodie, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Calabash and thing. I don't know what they used to have in the calabash.
Okay.
But I know the little boys would have the shakers. And some would play the little drum and some would play the big drum.
Yes.
And then the guitar and the fife and later on the banjo came in.
And then how did you dress then? What was your clothing like?
Oh, well, those days girls never wear pants. Not jeans or anything like that. You had to wear. We used to dress as the girls. You dressed in frilly dress and the prettiest of clothes, but it had to be, the dress must be far below your knee.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, it was those were nice days,
I can imagine.
Life was very civil then and sincere. Nobody would tell anybody a curse word and all like that.
Because Miss Olive, there's a proliferation of what do they call it now? When you thief people thing, pretty larceny. Yes, there's a huge high incidence of pretty larceny. People
that
taking people's stuff.
When I was a child.
That wasn't happening then.
That wasn't. I mean, later on, you used to hear about this one going into this one ground and stealing out them food and all like that. But that is when we were, grown up like.
Okay. So the only thing that you would probably worry about is a chicken hawk or something like that, right?
Or mongoose.
Or mongoose.
Yes, mongoose come and if you ever leave that full coop door open, you know that mongoose can climb. Mongoose
Yes.
would climb up into the plane.
Oh, yes.
Take out the chicken.
Yes. So when did you have your first boyfriend? Let's get personal now.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yes.
My mother, she was one of those, well, old time. It was old time then.
Yes.
And she would talk to us, the three of us girls. She'd tell us about boyfriends and when the boys begin to call to you and all like that. She said, put a price on yourself and don't let any boy get to laugh at you and so on and so forth. Let me see now. I left home at 16. I never paid the young men any mind because I had a plan. I said, according to my mother, she said, get a profession. And when you know exactly what you are doing, then you can listen. You can listen to the boys.
How much of that got spread around to the community? Meaning that how many families, how many mothers did that to their children?
Yes, that was spread around the community very widely. All the young ladies there. We were 3 girls in our family, and there was another lady who had 5 girls, and others with 1 and 2. And any girl that would really take up a boyfriend too early, you don't keep company with them. But because we're so different now, oh boy, it was something those days.
Yes.
I would tell you about love, courtship, and marriage, and that there was time for it, and you put a time limit on that, and you know.
So
I grew up under that kind of discipline.
All right. So you left home at 16. So that means you must have had a boyfriend when you were 17 or 18, right? Or something like that.
No, sir.
When did you have your first boyfriend? Your real boyfriend?
Well, my first real boyfriend became my husband in my 20s. I got married when I was 27.
Wow. Okay.
There were other young men who would come and, you know, make advances, and I would say I am not ready.
Oh,
I was never ready because I had a plan that I would not entertain anybody until after 25.
But I also found out at age 27 when you got married, you and your husband were together for 75 years. So that means that's that was your first and only boyfriend.
That's my one love, and that was the one love until he died in 2017.
Oh wow!
I don't mean to tell you that other people don't come and make overtures and all like that, you know, but I wouldn't give them the time of the day. Because I was taught by my mother that's what I should do, and I believed her.
And Miss Olive, do you recognize that other people in the community did the same thing? You know, the girls were pretty protected. Yes. You know what today, right? Let me tell you what's going on today, especially. Well, I can only talk about Jamaica. That there's a lot of sexual abuse, child abuse, that kind of thing that happen, incest and stuff that happens in Jamaica.
Yes, no.
Yeah, and I mean, what was that like in those days?
Oh no, you never heard of those things that in our day. If I remember a girl, she was born 1912. She was 5 years older than I, and she got pregnant, and it was she was banished. She was sent away to some relative, and then this story went around, and it was a shock to the whole community. Everybody, as it were, talk about it. And it was different, you know. It was totally different. We grew up to realize that marriage was something for when you are mature, and sexual relationships were taboo. And you never found that like what is going on now.
What do you think changed so drastically from 60 years ago, 70 years ago to now, when there's almost no respect for the other person that you believe
Right.
that what happened?
Let me tell you, life was simple those days and sincere, and most families believed in God and tried to live up to Christian principles. That was the order of the day. But nowadays, that is, second place, if not last place.
You have lived through several the life or lives of
Life cycles.
of our national heroes. You have lived through Bustamante,
Oh, yes.
George William
Norman
Gordon,
Manley came before Buster.
right? Marcus Garvey, and
Yes.
those guys were living while you were alive.
Yes,
What was that era like? I was listening to a story last night where the independence of Jamaica really started back in 1934 by a gentleman in the Progressive League by the name of Robert. I don't remember his first name, but all that led up to the 1962 independence. What was living there with Manley?
I think the change started in 1938. I can remember when, I don't remember who was the moving spirit,
Yes.
but there was a man who went through, was it Marcus Garvey? I don't remember who that was. But he went throughout the island trying to rally the
Right.
people who they would call the lower class,
Yes.
and to make people aware of their existence and of who they are and who they should be. And that was a movement.
It's called Progressive League. I remember his name is something
Yeah,
under
that was
Robert.
it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
things started to change from then. And later on, you have Jamaica welfare came in during the Manley era, and then people living standards started to rise, and the society began to really change
Mm-hmm.
until we got independence from Britain. Now, then that was something else. People were not prepared for it. They didn't understand the meaning of independence. So they got the feeling now that nobody must work for anybody, and then you get the rise.
I was about to ask you, what did independence? What was that like? What was the transformation like?
Yes, that was what happened, but it did good for some people because one thing Norman Manley did, he opened the doors of the high school to children who were able,
Yes.
and so education changed, and
Yes.
so the society changed.
Yes.
Food production, education, and transportation.
Okay.
Rapid changes took place in those areas. And
Yes.
so the rise of the new Jamaica began.
My
I
God.
think it was from 1938, as far as I can remember. It was about that time.
Tell me about the Mento music, the Mento era, the merengue era. Tell me about that era.
Or the Mentor Band. We could only hear it. They used to have street dances and all that, and picnics down in the commons and so on.
Yes.
But we could only stay afar and look at those. We were not permitted to participate.
Oh, girl, because you're a girl, you don't go to those places.
Yes, they're my sisters. I remember one evening, a man we called Father Stewart came and was having some meeting down at our place there down at the common. We had a big common down there with a big pond. And he was down there, a crowd of people, and made a big ring, and he was jumping up and railing, We call them Poco.
Yeah.
And so my sister and my bigger sister, the one I followed, we took off in the evening and went down into this place to watch them. And when we stood around the whole ring and looking, we see Papi come down with his strap and his strain in his neck, looking in the ring, and when he passed by me, I stooped right down low, and he passed by my sister looking for us, and I touched her, and we ran up the yard and get into bed. And he came up here to Mama. I don't see them. I don't know where they are. Mama said, but we didn't look in the room. Maybe them in the room. And then when he came and looked at the door, hear him to Mama. Mama, fast asleep. I cannot forget that experience.
When were you first exposed to radio? When were you first exposed to radio and television?
Radio, well, that came in when I can't even remember what time.
All right.
But I mean, in our childhood, we didn't know anything about the radio. We had gramophone music and so,
right.
But we never. And the newspapers now were. You had the Daily Gleaner from then and the Jamaica Agricultural Society Journal. Those were the, and they have another one called McDonald's Almanac. Those are the news media that Papi Dick.
So when you became 16 and you moved out, where did you move to?
I moved to Hanover.
You moved to Hanover?
Yes, I went to work in the post office.
Oh, you went to work in the post office, okay. Tell me about that.
Yes, and I worked in the post office for 8 years.
Okay.
And I got married when I was 27. And left the post office. And when I had my first child, he was born 1945. I taught him after the order, which I was taught by my parents. And he started following me around in the house and asking me, Mommy, what does this say? What does that say? What? I said, but I think I should go to school. So I up and went to college. Went to teachers' college.
Which teachers' college did you go to?
The first teachers' college I went to was Monique. When that scheme opened 1955, I think it was, or 45, yes. 48. I don't remember. But that was my college.
Okay.
I had already done the teachers' college examinations. We used to do them, what you call external exams.
Yes.
So when I began teaching, those were the exams I did.
Okay, so you were a teacher.
And then money came in now when I was quite a mature. I think I had my third. Yes, Grace was born then.
Yes.
And then when I went to Monique. And it has been all the way up from then.
It is so nice to be able to. I'm trying to just get back into where you were at that time.
Right.
It's really nice to listen to you, and you're so eloquent. Why chat patois?
Eloquent, is that the word you use?
You want me chat me? Come I understand how you born a country. You're then at the dead a country, but you chat patois. I understand that, man. Come and help me out.
I know. You know what Papi Dick told us?
Yes.
That why these young people can't do anything in education.
Yeah.
Is the bad language. They used to call it patois bad language.
Bad language.
Is the bad language. So make it a business. Make it a business to learn English, and of course, English was a required subject in our learning process.
Yes. Yes.
And so we practiced that. My children never spoke patois until they were maybe independent and could, take it up on their own.
You have to tell me this, Miss Olive. You have to tell me what is colonization. I was born 1960. We became independent 1962. I have no clue about whatever independence are. But tell me, what is colonization? What was that era like? What is it?
I don't know about that age. I learned about that from the books. When the countries, chiefly the British, went around the world taking charge of different islands and countries. Jamaica was one of them. It was from 1655 that the British came to Jamaica.
To 1962. But what was it like to live under...
that was 1655 according to our history.
Right.
And then we never got independence from Britain until 1962.
Right.
So over 300 years of British rule.
Mm-hmm.
Our inspectors of schools were sent out by Britain. All the institutions were headed by people who came out from England.
So there was a lot of white people around?
Oh, yes, quite a number. Yeah, our postmaster general was white. Our governor, we didn't have governor general then. We had the governor generals. They were always white. And the colonial secretary, who was the chief law officer, We didn't have Attorney General then. We had Colonial Secretary and the governor and the Colonial Secretary and the head of the civil service. I forget what they called him. Those were the people who made laws and, you know.
So when these white people would come on in your community, what happened?
Well, the children, we would look upon them and say, yes, sir, and no, ma'am, and so on. Because we were sort of grown up under the culture that they were the people who are teaching us to live. That was the idea then. But as education became localized, people began to think now, to read and to realize that after all, they're only people like ourselves.
So what?
All the business people. I remember my cousin went down King Street one time to a store called Nathan's, and he saw a pair of shoes that he would wear, and he went to the manager. The sales clerk was trying to sell him the shoes, all white or, high-colored people, they call them. And he said how he liked it, and then she couldn't sell him, so she called the manager, and he said to the manager, could you give me a job here? He said, well, we don't take blacks here. And so blacks should buy your shoes? What you put on the shoes? I was like, never forgot that. Oh, there was a kind of awakening that, after all, this is our land. And of course, the politicians went about and, enlightening the people. But it was the influx of education that really lifted the society. But I don't know if it is a better society now than then, because everything is so terrible now out there. People don't have any respect anymore, and there's no civility.
Did you have white kids in your classroom when you were growing up?
No, they never come to our school.
So they had special schools. They had special schools.
There were the schools that you wouldn't find a black child in, because elementary schools were few and far apart.
Ah, okay.
You see, you would have like what I would call it, a quarter week school that elderly people would keep, and the children would go to those schools. Those who could not manage to go to the government school, they call it.
Yes. Okay.
And then,
oh my God.
Gradually, a set of people who really came into Jamaica, I don't know what time, but were the Chinese. Every district you went, you would find a Chinese businessman.
Yes.
And that's what it was. They were called them shopkeepers.
Shopkeepers, yes. They were mostly shopkeepers.
Yes, the Chinese.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Miss Olive. Miss Olive, what is your last name again?
Wallace.
Sis Olive Wallace.
My name was Smythe before Smythe.
Smith, Smythe. Smith.
Yeah, the name was Smith, Smith, and great-grandfather, whose father was a Welshman, gave him the name of Smith.
Right.
And some man from somewhere around New Roads, I heard the story because I didn't know him, stole a goat and went to prison. And he said, what? No more Smith. And he did what they call a deed poll and changed his name to Smythe.
Smythe,
Smythe.
Oh.
And so there were three brothers of them, and they all used the name Smythe. So anywhere you find somebody by that name, they're all related.
So hence the township's name is Smithville?
Smithfield, Field, the name of the
Smithfield.
Smithfield.
Okay. Oh my God. Boy, I can't tell you how much I enjoy this year. Let me see if there's any question that anybody has for you before I wrap up. She says, good lesson.
So Leo, tell me where in Jamaica you're from.
Oh, I am a proud St. Marian, a proud Rockabessarian.
Aracabessa. Yes. When I worked in the post office, my first assistant was from Aracabessa.
A lie.
Yes, it's true.
Oh, Rokomesa, that's where I am from. The port where we send what the most banana from Jamaica back in the days.
Rokomesa. Yes, I didn't go there until I became an inspector of schools and then went to the parish of St. Mary.
So you were an inspector. So you didn't get broad, man. Jesus, peace. You are one of those persons where we're afraid for anytime we don't come to school. Because
why are you?
when the inspector would come to the schools, listen to this. When the inspector would come to the school, the principal
by the time I reached that, the children were no longer afraid. They were anxious to show what they knew, and they were always the teachers were very nice and respectful. I mean, things had changed. When I became an inspector of schools, I was like 35 or 36 years old.
Let me tell you, when we were in school, primary school back in the days in the early 60s, and the principal finds out that the inspector of school is coming, it was a big thing.
Yes, I know. Hold a minute, Leo. I'll be right back with you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was a big thing. Every class.
Leo.
You're back?
Leo.
Yes.
Leo.
Yeah, man.
Hold on.
Okay.
You have to make a quick move.
All right. Okay, all right.
But she's Dr. Olive Wallace,
I know,
right?
I know. I was gonna tell everybody that. She's Dr. Olive Wallace. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is June, and she's. I call her June, but the picture, and she that. Me think her she, but she not so good looking at all. June not so good looking.
That's not me.
I was saying, she's so pretty, and I'm not June that. The woman have to come tell me say June that. That is really
but
really
you mean
bad.
how she's so pretty and not June?
That's what we should have said, don't.
Right?
Man, what an honor to have this lady online.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna wrap up. I saw that a lot of her family members a lot of the Corleys are online. The Christoph Corley. Who's Christoph? That's your son.
That's my son.
What Jesus?
He's just acting a fool right now.
Okay, I think I are relative them. Jeffrey.
I mean, it's her grand.
I know.
But
I know. Angie Lewis says, great history lesson. She also says the morals in Jamaica now is very low and degrading. The young folks have no manners there. Much disrespect to the elders. Grace Ringrose saying great history. So here's Angie says the Progressive League. This has just been such a great honor to have her, and I'm just gonna wrap up when she comes back.
Okay, here she is. She is now. Hold on. Sorry, Leo.
Yeah,
Sorry
man.
about that.
Dr. Olive Wallace.
Yes,
you are.
Who told you that?
Are you PhD, ED?
ED.
Okay. Much respect to you. I so thank you so much for coming to the show. And I was telling her that when Inspector used to come to the school, how we have to wear our best clothes and make sure the pants in our shirts and all them things. Do you remember that?
And I'm going to tell you something about what happened when I was in primary school. My teacher was J.S. Redham.
Mm-hmm.
When inspection day, he said nobody must wear any dress up, because all those children who never wore shoes to school, they would come in their shoes and so.
Yes.
Teacher Reynolds said the school was being kept in the church at New Road because the storm had blown down the school.
Okay.
And the morning when those children came to school, those who were not wearing shoes before, they had to go in the vestry and take off the shoes and pack them up in there. I never forgot that.
Oh, my God.
And then there was a girl named Emily Webb. She had her hair combed out, and teacher made her go in the vestry and plait her hair in braids, like how she used to come to school. He said when they dress up like that, they are not going to be able to remember to answer the inspector the questions that are asked, that they're going to feel strange. I cannot forget that time. And some of the children made a joke of it, but some were real angry.
So you say you're from Newmarket area. Do you remember
Yes.
1979 when Newmarket went underwater? What was that about? You remember?
Yes, 19. I'm going to tell you when was the first flood.
Flood.
1931.
Oh, is that right? There was a flood in 1931 there?
Yes, flood from New Savannah right down to a place called Beechwood, right across Newmarket up to Mocha. Nobody could walk. Nobody could walk on the road because the water covered the trees. And man from Black River came up with his boat, named Mr. Sinclair, and he used to boat the people across the water to the market and to the post office and so on.
So what caused that? What caused that?
I don't know because they had groups of engineers year after year come to examine and sound and try out, and nobody seemed able to tell why.
Because
Why,
it happened
why
again.
those-
It happened again in
and it-
1979.
Yes, it happened again. It has happened 3 times since.
Hmm.
One time when I went home and it was the floods were there again. But
Okay.
they made roads now across the hills and around, so they call them bypass roads. So the people didn't have to use the boats.
So let me read some things for you before we wrap up here. Michelle Mary Wilson says, hello, good afternoon. I would love to meet her. She also says, performed history lesson. Continued blessings, she says. Louise Stimson says, I really enjoy your show tonight. Thank you for having, I learned so much about the beautiful country. Great history lesson from Grace. Angie says, the moral in Jamaica is now very low and degrading. The young folks have no manners, much disrespect to the elders these days. Good history lesson, Miss Olive. And your grandson, your grandnephew is online, Christoph, saying I'm right here with her.
It's good to hear that. Really good. Really good to hear that.
Edith Clark says, God's richest blessing to Miss Olive. She is awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's very nice. So thank you so much again, Miss Olive, and I'm sure that I'm going to catch you again. I want you to leave us with some nice words about Jamaica so that we have hope. Leave us with hope.
You want a picture?
Yes, I am hoping that the social and moral life of Jamaica will improve as time goes by, because I really feel, sad for the condition that exists in some places now. But those places that have improved, I am very glad for those. You find some, education is at a very high level now. You have your own publishing and your native inspectors and officers and so on. It is so much different. And it could be such a happy place if people were more civil and if they had more of the Lord in their lives. God is put in second place now. When I grew up there as a child, it was very different. Religious life was a great part of the society, but now it's in decay. Oh, well, Leo, it has been a pleasure talking with you.
My pleasure. Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
I enjoy this, and it makes me feel like I'm at home in Jamaica again.
That's nice. Thank you so much, Miss Dr. Olive Wallace, and have a wonderful evening, okay?
Bless you.
All right. What a wonderful interview that was. I enjoy that. This is Heritage Week, ladies and gentlemen, and it gives me pleasure, so much pleasure, to interview Miss Olive, Dr. Olive Wallace again, a very bright person. You can tell she's 102 years. In February, she'll be 103, as I forgot to tell her that I know what her birth date is. And Miss Dr. Wallace is just an amazing individual, able to recall the finest details about her growing up, about the country life in Jamaica. And this is Heritage Week. I will be back in about 30 minutes because I'm going to play some music for you tonight, okay? We haven't played any music since last week. And I know that when I ball me down, everybody that text me and talk about, more music. So after this show, I'm going to come back in about a half an hour, and we're going to play music. Hey, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Gilling Show. Follow back on me all the time, all right?